Alright, so I missed making a video last week because it was my wife's birthday. We took a little hiking trip. Happy birthday again, babe. But that, and I've been healing some injuries, so taking some time off. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been on the small wheels. So today, back out at Duff Skate Park, gonna work on the basics, get warmed up, and then maybe if I'm feeling it, bust out the to-do list and work on learning some new tricks. Since I started making videos on YouTube, I get a lot of requests for trick tips and tutorials on how to do certain tricks, and I typically stay away from doing tutorials. I'll probably do a few more as time goes on, but I want to stay away from just putting out tutorial after tutorial. There's a couple reasons I stay away from it. There's already a couple channels out there that do a really great job of doing how-tos and trick tips, and it's not really what I want the focus of my channel to be. And also, it's been a long time since I've learned the basic tricks, and so I'm not really in touch with, the struggles that go into learning your first soul grind. And in my opinion, the best person to teach you how to do something is someone who just finished learning how to do it. It's the same way it is in my day job. The first job you can typically get as a pilot is to be a flight instructor. And that tends to work pretty well because although you may not be the most experienced at it, you're still very familiar with the learning process and the struggles that it takes to learn that new skill. And although I might not be the best person to teach you how to do your very first soul grind, I still try to learn new tricks and progress all the time, and there's some techniques that I use, some tips I want to give you guys that'll help you learn any trick you want to, well, any grind that you're trying to learn. First tip is that skating is all a mind game. You hear people who've been skating a long time say this, and it's honestly obnoxious to hear it at first, but stop thinking of stuff as switch and regular if you can. If you can convince your brain that it's just right foot and left foot, you're gonna go a lot further, a lot faster. I made the mistake early on in my skating where I learned soul grinds left-footed, and then I told myself that I was left-footed. Anything on my right foot was switch, and I just couldn't do it. Many years later, I started trying to learn tricks switch and found out that some of the tricks that were switch were actually easier to do right-footed than they ever were to do left-footed. So when it comes to switch and regular, try to keep it as left and right foot, and if you're struggling to learn something on one foot, don't hesitate to give it a shot with the other foot. And second, any new grind you want to learn is only a 90-degree movement of one of your feet away from a trick that you already know. So when you want to learn a new grind, start with a trick you know, and then build off of that trick. For me today, I want to work on getting true topsouls down. Now this is a trick I've been able to lock in the past, but I've never got it down with enough confidence to really throw it anywhere, so I'm still working on learning that. But the way I'm able to trick my brain into throwing this trick, because it's a switch spin for me, or an unnatural spin for me, I do not like spinning to the right, but the way I can talk myself into doing this trick is my normal Mizu is left-footed, so then from there I can just shift my left foot 90 degrees, and that's my switch back farv. Got pretty comfortable with switch back farv, and from there it's just a 90-degree shift again with the left foot, and that's my true topsoul. So start with tricks you know, and then make tiny adjustments and trick your brain into thinking you're doing something you're comfortable with, and at the last minute just make that little shift, that tiny adjustment that puts you into the new trick that you want to learn. Alright, the third thing, this one should be pretty obvious, but start small and work your way up. Find the right obstacle to learn the trick on for you. A lot of the times the progression is going to be, stall it on a curb, then stall it on a practice rail, then learn to slide it on a practice rail, and then from there start moving it up to a ledge or whatever obstacle you want to really do that trick on. But you know, sometimes a small little curb might not be the right thing to learn the trick on. For me, regular and alley-oop topside tricks, I find them easier to learn on quarter pipes. I'm comfortable skating transition, that's what works for me. Doing topside tricks on really low obstacles is terrifying to me, but if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. The important thing is to find the right obstacle to learn that particular trick on, and not every trick is going to feel comfortable on the same obstacle. All right, bonus tip, if you guys are at one of these types of parks, they have these things everywhere, these little prefab parks with the recycled plastic for ledges. If you're trying to move your tricks up to a ledge on one of these ledges, take this ledge and flip it on its side, and it turns it into the perfect coping box for learning stuff on. A lot of you guys probably already know about this trick, but I had never seen it before I moved to Pittsburgh about 5 years ago. So if you've never seen this before, definitely try it out, especially if you're trying to learn topsides on ledges and you have one of these to work with. Turn it on its side. All right, so I mentioned that every grind is just 90 degrees away from another grind as far as turning your feet go. But grinds aren't just about your foot position. 90% of it is body position. Your hips, your chest, and your shoulders play a huge role in you locking onto a trick properly and being able to balance it and hold it through the end of the obstacle. So when you're stalling tricks out and you're learning them for the first time, don't just focus on getting your ankles and your knees in the right position so you can have your foot locked in the right place, but really focus on where the rest of your body needs to be so that you can balance it. Pull out your phone, record yourself doing it, study your body position, and then go study not just trick tips and tutorials, but go study your favorite pros and how they do the trick, what their body position looks like, how they're doing the trick, and compare what you look like to what they look like. Now, of course, you're not going to be as good as them right off the bat, but in general, your body position, how your hips are opened up or closed off, where your shoulders are at, things like that are really going to help you perfect tricks. And knowing where your body needs to be when you jump onto an obstacle is going to help you learn stuff quicker. And the final one is you're just going to have to fully commit. No matter if you're skating a rail or a ledge or a quarter pipe, whatever you're trying to do grinds on, you have to jump on top of the obstacle. Doesn't matter. Don't jump next to the obstacle. Don't jump past the obstacle. You jump on top of the obstacle, be centered on it, and that is going to give you the best results. Sometimes you just have to accept that you're going to take a few falls when you're trying to learn something, and if you fully commit, the fall is going to be a lot less bad than if you come at something half-assed. The worst falls you will ever take are when you half-ass something. So fully commit, get on top of it, and odds are it's going to work out in your favor. All right, final bonus tip, the one no one wants to hear, is before you start learning grinds, get good at skating first. When you fall out of grinds, if you're good at skating and know how to recover in different situations, it's going to help you in the long run. You're not going to get hurt as much. You're going to be able to skate away from stuff uninjured where you otherwise might take a really bad slam. So work on basic skating as well as learning new grinds. As you guys saw, I was not able to properly lock that topside on a square ledge. Unfortunately, that is part of the learning process, is knowing when to just walk away and live to skate another day versus getting hurt trying something over and over again when you're not getting anywhere and then not being able to skate for a while. So I'm definitely going to be working on that next time I skate, but that's going to do it for this time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Goodbye.